Today, we're wading into the murky swamp that is the American prison system. It's a system that, frankly, is about as effective as a chocolate fireguard. We lock people up, throw away the key, and then act surprised when they come out angrier, more damaged, and woefully unprepared to re-enter society. It's a recipe for disaster, and frankly, it's a system in desperate need of a bloody good overhaul. Over the next few minutes, we're going to break down 5 radical, potentially controversial, but undeniably necessary changes that just might make a difference. And look, if we have to rearrange a few deck chairs on the Titanic, we might as well try and build a life raft out of them, right? Now, not all crimes are created equal, are they? Take your common or garden knucklehead. You know the type. Public intoxication, maybe a spot of vandalism after a few too many pints of questionable ale. These are not victimless crimes, mind you, but do they really warrant the full-blown, soul-crushing experience of prison? I'd argue no. For these folks, a hefty fine that actually makes a dent in their finances might be a better deterrent. Coupled with some good old-fashioned community service, where they're forced to confront the consequences of their actions, you might just shame them into behaving themselves next time. It's about accountability, not just punishment for the sake of punishment. Now let's talk about the unskilled criminal. These individuals often turn to crime due to lack of opportunities and education. Throwing them into cells with hardened criminals only breeds resentment. Instead, let's create labor camps. Structured environments where inmates learn valuable trade skills, carpentry, plumbing, coding, preparing them for the real world. It's not a holiday, but it's better than the current system. Chapter 3. The Monster. Now, I know what you're thinking. John, what about the truly dangerous ones? The monsters who commit heinous crimes? Some people are simply wired wrong. They pose a genuine threat to society and need to be separated from it. For them, prison is necessary, but we can do better than the current system. Solitary confinement often exacerbates mental health issues. Their days would be structured around menial tasks to keep them occupied, a steady diet of self-improvement books. It's about rehabilitation, even for the seemingly irredeemable.
Yeah, it's about creating a space to keep them from causing more harm, while giving them a chance to reflect and change.
Chapter 4. No new best friends. One of the biggest flaws in the current system is the emphasis, or lack thereof, on socialization. Prison for many becomes a breeding ground for gangs, violence, and criminal networking. It's like sending your kid to a school run by mob bosses. What could possibly go wrong? In my ideal prison system, socialization would be strictly controlled. No more mingling in the yard or sharing stories over illicit cigarettes. Inmates would interact with guards and essential staff only, minimizing the opportunity for further corruption and criminal influence.
This might sound harsh, but remember, the goal here isn't to create a summer camp. It's about breaking the cycle of crime and preparing individuals for a law-abiding life outside those walls.
Chapter 5. Rehabilitation, not just retribution. Now, this next bit might seem bleedingly obvious, but bear with me. The current prison system is shockingly bad at rehabilitation. It's like going to a mechanic for a broken engine and all they do is slap some duct tape on it and call it a day. We need to invest in comprehensive rehabilitation programs that address the root causes of criminal behavior: mental health services, addiction recovery programs, educational opportunities, job training. These aren't just buzzwords, they're essential tools for breaking the cycle of recidivism.
Imagine a system where inmates leave prison not just with a criminal record and a bus ticket, but with the skills and support they need to actually make a fresh start. It's about giving people a fighting chance, not just setting them up to fail.
Outro. Look, I'm not naive enough to think that these changes will magically solve all the problems plaguing the American justice system, but we have to start somewhere, don't we? The current system is broken, inhumane, and frankly, a colossal waste of human potential. These 5 changes, radical as they may seem, offer a glimmer of hope, a chance to build a system that prioritizes rehabilitation, accountability, and ultimately the well-being of both individuals and society as a whole. It's time to stop treating prisons like warehouses for the unwanted and start seeing them for what they should be: places of transformation where even the most hardened criminals can find redemption and a path back to a life of purpose.